I need to go get my book before. Phil, make sure you save 2 books over there for Cynthia. He's doing brisk business. Rupert, you want to come over here and say a few words? Well, it's pretty late, and we've had an earful and a brain full.
You know what? I'm not going to talk with the cameras rolling, so I got stuff to say I don't want on tape.
Well, in that case, maybe we'll just go to the film.
Yeah.
Mark Sobel's here.
You know what?
Who is Mark Sobel? Is your film available for sale? Oh, okay. Okay.
Hello. Attention.
Cynthia's here.
Cynthia McKinney's here to talk.
Our biggest fan. Let's go.
I wanted to try to get us back to some kind of order. Mark Sobel is here, who made a great documentary, The Commission, about the Warren Commission, and he has a new film on Robert Kennedy. And more than that, I don't know. It's called RFK, and I think he's interviewed some of the key people in the case, and he was kindly showed up and wants to show us the film. So we're setting up for that in the next few minutes, and if he maybe he can discuss it. He can discuss it more tomorrow, but it's an important film. Okay. Lisa's telling me it won an award at the Sacramento Film Festival.
Yes, it's not only informative, but it's good.
And we'll be showing more films tomorrow night. Shane O'Sullivan and maybe Second Gun, Ted Schrock's film, if people want to see it. And but also Ted told me he brought some other audio tape that he wants people to hear tomorrow night. So and we have some other alternatives. I brought a BBC documentary on it that has this Serrano harassment. Yeah, 2 hour I think. So we've got stuff to look at tomorrow. But yeah. We'll come back as soon as the film's ready to show if you want to stay, and thank you for coming.
Don't call ramparts on me, okay?
No. I'll make you a mojito, I'll make you a Coke, I'll make you a whatever hito you want. You're coming. Don't forget what I'll be tonight.
Here. Was it the rodeo thing at Gmail?
Yeah, we'll just start it and slowly discover.
Where's Mike? He's the guy that knows where the lights are. Summer? All right. This is Summer Reese, and she'll be talking tomorrow, but she also helped to get us on to KPFK. Pacifica became a media sponsor for this event. She was part and parcel of all that.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming tonight, and of course support your favorite local radio station which sponsored this event and has been very supportive of this time around, and I think we'll be continuing to talk about it after this. So if you're not already a member of 90.7, please join and push them to play even more of this kind of stuff. Thanks for coming tonight, hope you come for the rest of the weekend.
If you need to turn on the spotlight for a minute, that's cool. I mean, before the movie starts, otherwise I know that it's hard to tape. Okay.
Speaking to the microphone.
The microphone is not hooked up right now, so I'll just speak loudly. I'll be here tomorrow, and so I can answer more questions tomorrow. The one thing I'd like to say, because this is a very specific kind of group, I wouldn't make this disclaimer normally with sort of a regular audience. I did a test screening of the film in November in Dallas in front of a group that certainly everybody there is very much into the political assassination of it. And I just wanted to make it clear that this film is a history. That, starting with Ted Chirac's film, I mean, there have been films looking at the conspiracy aspect of it, mainly what I would call tabloid TV documentaries. This is a historical film, and because our preconceptions may affect how we view a film, I just want to say, preconception-wise, you're not going to find out who's done it. The film will not even tell you if there was a conspiracy or not. The film brings together many of the people who were there in the pantry that night, or other people who were involved either that night or in the years that follow, and it simply asks them, what did you see and hear? Now, at the test screening I had in November, I was pleased that with a die-hard crowd of people who felt that there was more to the RFK assassination than one man, there were a couple people that were annoyed that I included one or two people who saw things that night that didn't, or that were different in perception from what other people saw. And they felt I shouldn't have included that. And I tried to explain to them, I am not trying to make a case for or against anyone's theory. I am recording for history the fact that different people saw different things. I don't think this is working either. And that's what this film is about. If it is a critique of anything, it is a commentary on the investigation of the LAPD that was, and this is not what I'm saying, I think the facts and the film speak for themselves, was inadequate enough that 40 years later, the question has never been settled. And so, as I said, if people say things that don't support your theory or your theory or your theory, that is not the point of the film. It's to bring out what people felt they saw at the time and how it was handled by the official investigation. And so I think you need to watch the film with that perspective in mind. And then I will be around tomorrow to answer questions. There were so many things that people said that I wish I could have included in the film. I narrowed it down to 90 minutes because that's about the most that people can handle in one sitting. Yes?
Your name and the name.
My name Mark Sobel, with a K, S-O-B-E-L.
Your website and the name of the film.
www.marksobel.com. The name of the film is RFK. I should say the film had its world premiere at the Sacramento International Film Festival in April. It won the award for Outstanding Documentary. Tonight, it was the opening night film at the Seattle Independent Film Festival. Interestingly enough, I have found that it is the grassroots film festivals, the political film festivals, the film festivals that are run by and attended by younger people that have shown an interest in that. Sometimes when I talk to distribution or industry people, they say, well, okay, people in their 50s, 60s, 70s may be interested, but do you think young audiences will care? Those are the people that are outraged. And tell me afterwards, when I asked them, did you feel that I was biased in this film? They said, no, it just made me feel angry. Angry that we don't know anything now. And that's the young people. And it's those film festivals that I'm farming it out to in the hope that what a lot of the survivors of the pantry have referred to this next year as, because this is the 40th anniversary year of the assassination, they've referred to this as the year of full disclosure. And I'm trying to fan against conventional wisdom. Conventional wisdom is put the film in the 4 biggest, most prestigious black tie festivals you can, and then get it into commercial distribution. I'm doing the opposite. I'm putting it in the grassroots festivals where they will spotlight it, where no one will show up in a tuxedo, and where it's people that weren't even alive during the assassination. And I hope my film will help support in the next year what Bill Pepper is trying to achieve. And that is, I am not an advocate for Sirhan. What I'm an advocate for is allowing the process of quote unquote deprogramming, of digging deeper into his subconscious than was ever done at the time. At the time, it was an ad hoc hypnosis merely to try to trigger his memory. And from the film, I think you'll see that if he were put under some kind of deprogramming today, to find out in the months beforehand, who was he associating with? Was he alone when he wrote those notebooks? Was someone there dictating passages to him? Those notebooks are very bizarre. These are questions that should have been answered at the time. They should have been answered at least 20 years ago after the immediate pain of the crime was over, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago. But it turns out that the system is blocking the efforts just to let Bill Pepper put Sirhan under time regression hypnosis. They are blocking it. I would have expected the justice system to try to help, or at least do nothing. They are blocking it. They want the same thing to happen to Sirhan that happened to James Earl Ray. You'll recall Ray won a new trial so that we could find out more facts, and then the penal system would not allow him to go out of state for a life-saving surgical procedure, and he died in jail. And the public said nothing. The press said nothing. Yes. And that must not happen in this case, and I hope that's what this film in the Grassroots Film Festivals, in support of what Bill Pepper's doing, will hopefully achieve. And thank you, Ted Chirac, for everything.
Thank you very much.
It's called RFK, I thought more to the point. Okay, so we can kill that light.
Okay. Good morning. For those who weren't here yesterday or somehow don't use YouTube, my name is John Judge, and this is a Coalition on Political Assassination regional meeting here in Los Angeles this weekend. We had a great crowd last night and some excellent speakers. We've got more today, and I was telling Bill Turner at breakfast that I'm finally getting old enough that I'm forgetting more than I wanted to know in the first place. So there are some blessings to age. But I also said that Lisa Pease, who's our next speaker, who is the co-author of the book The Assassinations and one of the founding members of Citizens for the Truth about the Kennedy assassinations, and also editor at Probe magazine for many years, and an indefatigable researcher.
Fatigable, very fatigable.
She says fatigable, but she goes longer than most bunnies. But I told her she's giving a new meaning to the phrase that Sirhan draws a blank on the Robert Kennedy assassination, and she'll explain that further. But I think we're in a unique area here because we've got one finally that's easier to prove the forensics, and also harder for the press to ignore. So I think the momentum that Paul Schrade and the others are trying to get going, we need to assist them with, and really push this with with Congress and with the press and all the different outlets to really take this seriously and look into it. And we're gonna have a special guest who's here already, Darwin Horn, who was 30 years in the Secret Service and wrote an autobiography, and I just found about his book and him on the way to preparing for this meeting. But I asked him to come, and he kindly came by today to talk to us. And then we have Bill Turner here today, and also we have Shana Sullivan's Film and Summer Reese to talk to us. So it's a full day, and then we'll have 2 more meals and some movies tonight. We got kicked out of the building last night, for those of you that didn't fade. So we were got about a half an hour left on RFK. Mark Sobel has to show today and talk to us about that too, but we'll fit it all in. And we're still working hard to overcome our live streaming problems that we were having before. But I was reminding Lisa of the Midwest Symposium some years ago in Chicago. I attended a ballistics panel on the John F. Kennedy assassination, and half of the ballistic experts said that no shots came from the front, and the other half of the ballistic experts said no shots came from the back. So then I got up and I said I was glad to hear that Kennedy wasn't hit. But I said, don't we yet know where the shots came from? They came from the Pentagon. So we got work to do, but